Now, music in literature is very rare. I would say that it's more confusing to writers to incorporate music in their novels than it is difficult. Because if they knew how to do it, they would do it more often. And I mean, I can count on one hand how many books I've read that actually have music in them, more than just say, the title of a song. Now, the key, in my opinion, is music must be symbolic to the character or to the situation. And this is how you do it. You start with emotions. I mean, if you're not writing for emotion anyway, then what are you writing for? Plot can only get you so far, but emotion is why the readers are really there. Now, you don't have to include the entire, song on the page. Now, how I would treat it is that I would have certain keywords with the song playing either in the background or up front, and those keywords are affecting the character. It's going to affect the character so much that the choices that they make right afterwards are going to be because of those keywords in the songs. Now, the type of music that you want to include in your novel, I would say 99% of the time, right, you do not want to use pop music. Why? Well, because there's a very good chance that that pop song right now, it isn't going to be popular, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now in your novel. And the key is you want to choose a song, right, that at least, most people out there can recognize. You don't want to use some song that no one has ever heard of before. Not that that's wrong, but the more recognizable song that you use, the easier it's going to be for the reader to understand what the character's going through. So let's say like a Beatles song or a Rolling Stones song, something like that, right? Something that has lasted, 40 years, 50 years, and it's going to keep on going. Now, using musical notes. Now, notes are for the really specific, detailed writer, okay? I don't know what the hell music notes are. I can't read them. I don't know anything about them. I just know what they look like, right? And I would say that most people out there are just like me. They don't know what a music note is. They don't know what it sounds like. They have no idea, right? So if you, the writer, decides to include music notes, right, you had better make it in such a way that they can understand what that music note means and use it quickly. Right? Learn it quickly, right? Like, I shouldn't have to stop reading your novel and then go Google and research what some music note means just to understand, 1 or 2 pages in your novel. Like, that's not cool. You don't want to do that. You don't want to sidetrack me. You don't want to lose my attention when I'm reading your novel because you decided to make it so specific and so exact that you want to use music notes. I'm not saying don't do it. But I'm just saying be cautious when you do it because you don't want to lose the interest of the reader. If you're going to use music notes, right, it would help that the story itself and the character are already, heavy deep in music, right? So they know music theory, they know what the notes mean, right? So the whole story, the whole plot, right, the whole essence of your novel, right, is about music in some way. Right? So that when you do decide to incorporate music notes in there, it doesn't just, come out of left field. It's like, what the hell is that doing here? He never mentioned anything about music notes before. This character really doesn't seem, musically inclined. Why are they incorporating music notes in this thing right now? Now, what about musical instruments, right? Now, if you don't have any musical instruments laying around, what can you do? You can Google them, obviously. You can go to Google Images, that's fine. You can, learn what they look like. You can go on YouTube and learn what they sound like. Okay, that's totally fine. But if you're serious about including music in your novel, then I would say, take a day, take 2 days, whatever, and, go to a music store, right, and actually experience the instrument. What does a trumpet sound like in person? What does it feel like, right? What does it feel like to actually hold it? Right? What does it feel like to sit, with like drums around you, or to have like an electric guitar strapped around you, right? So like you want to know the details of stuff like that. You can use YouTube, you can use Google Images for that. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But if you really want to know, I would say go get some hands-on experience first. That's probably the best way to do anything. And you can even hire like a music tutor, right? Just like one session. You don't have to go. You don't have to become like seriously involved or anything like that. But I mean, go for one session. ask the music tutor. Be like, hey, what do you think about this? Tell them straight up. Be like, listen, I'm writing a book and it's gonna have music in it. You know, what can you suggest? You know, do you have any books that you could suggest so I could learn? Now, what about titles and headings, right? A lot of books out there, you know, they'll credit the story to a poetry line or something in a Rolling Stones song, something like that, you know what I mean? And what they'll do is they'll take that line, that little lyric, and they'll put it under, you know, under each chapter. So it gives you, it gives the reader, right, like a certain base. Like, okay, so this is what this chapter is going to be about, right? So here are the other keywords in that certain lyric, right? So that means that the rest of this chapter is probably going to be about something in those keywords. Well, there it is. There's my short video on using music and literature. I hope you liked it. If you have any comments, you can leave below, and you can check out more creative writing tips at noblecopy.com. Take care.